From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Well, happy Sunday afternoon to you all. You know, the winds have been a little gusty for parts of the valley here, and it looks like they should die down a little later this afternoon. We'll get into that here in just a second, but boy, another picture-perfect day on the coast. Look at Crescent City. I mean, you've got the clear skies out there this morning, and not to mention this afternoon as well. We take you out to Elk Country. This is just north of Trinidad. We had the wet pavement a few days ago, even a puddle here this morning. That is gone. Things have dried out. And then we take a look at your camera coming in from Redding, and we've got mainly sunny skies. Now off to the east here, and that's expected on the back side of the area of low pressure that brought us the showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. That's pushing some clouds into the eastern mountains, but should remain dry out there for today, and not to mention going into tonight as well. So we look at our headlines, and as I mentioned, those winds, breezy, borderline gusty out there for especially the north and west side of the valley. Not as bad elsewhere, but a little breezy in some spots here. But I do expect it to be off and on breezy the next few days, and that could quite possibly increase our fire danger a little bit here, but not a major wind event by any stretch of the imagination. We have a warming trend next week, and we're going to be looking at temperatures feeling closer to summer for this time of the year as we go into the middle to latter part of this weekend. How about, of course, those low 90s I was talking about? So it's getting warmer as we take you into Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday of next week. There are the winds. Now, we take you to the noon hour today, and of course, there again, I was mentioning the north and west side of the valley is where we really have the strongest winds, and that's pretty typical for us around here. You can see it's not as bad for Chico, for example. So as we go through the afternoon, here's about 6 o'clock in the evening, notice the winds died down. So the winds will subside through the afternoon. Now, as we go into your Monday, I'm expecting the winds to pick up a little bit here. We'll call it breezy, just not as windy as it has been today for us for your Monday at noon. Then the winds die down again Monday afternoon. But Tuesday, actually some pretty strong winds here. You can see, especially again, the north and west side of the valley. But now we're seeing winds approaching that 30-mile-an-hour range here by the forecast. So we could be looking at some pretty strong gusts. So when we have those strong north winds for a few days, even off and on, that can tend to dry things out a little bit here. And on top of that, with temperatures increasing this week, that's not going to help matters either. So it's something we'll have to keep monitoring here as we go into the next few days, as we could be looking at a little bit of that elevated fire danger here. And still a little breezy even as we go into Tuesday evening, but the wind should subside as we go into Tuesday night. So we've got the area of low pressure spinning off to our east right now. That's one of the contributing factors to the winds that we're seeing now. But notice on the back side of that low, you see that counterclockwise spin? On the backside of that low, we have those clouds coming into the eastern mountains. We'll still be feeding those clouds in through the day today, but I do expect dry conditions here. Otherwise, for the rest of us, we're talking sunny skies. We do have a ridge of high pressure building in. However, what may contribute to those winds, you see this little trough of low pressure right here. This is going to kind of move down in this direction, and that will help to give us those gusty winds I was talking about over the next few days. In the meantime, it's dry. There are the clouds here this afternoon and evening for the eastern mountains as mentioned. Now, what you'll notice here, as we go into your Monday afternoon, there's a very weak disturbance that may bring some showers for parts of Siskiyou County, in particular around Wairika, Mount Shasta northward, and maybe even parts of Modoc County as well. But I'm not expecting it to be a big deal. Then we go into your Tuesday, and you can see things start to really clear out. But this is also the day, as that disturbance pushes to our south and east, the winds may begin to pick up again. All right, so we take a look at the rest of the week through the weekend. Should be dry. However, you'll notice here as we get towards the weekend, next weekend, we do have some disturbances off to our west that may have an impact on our weather down the line. But until then, it remains dry. Now, there's the cooler air that's in place, making for a gorgeous day today. That cooler air, it moves on out, and now we've got a ridge of high pressure building in for the middle to latter part of next week, and that's going to allow our temperatures to warm up. And as I mentioned, I'm expecting some low 90s for some of the warmer spots, and in particular for the northern Sacramento Valley. Here's a look at your wave heights for today, still around 8 to even 11 feet. I am seeing those wave heights finally begin to drop a little bit more here, down to about 7 feet. So that should be a bit better for you, especially if you do need to be out on the water. So your marine forecast here for today, we do have some pretty strong winds out there at times. Your sunrise was at 7:11 this morning. Your sunset tonight will be at 7 o'clock, and there's that small correct advisory here for today, actually. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast for today. There you can see those mid to even some upper 70s today. Gorgeous day. We should be in the mid to upper 80s for this time of the year, so about 10 degrees below normal. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for the higher elevations, and for the coast, we're in the low 60s under mainly sunny skies today. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And we're seeing those temperatures slowly increase. I think for places like Mount Shasta City, we could be up to about 80 degrees by the end of the week. And those clouds for Alturas and Mount Shasta could, see a few showers here and there. But for the most part, it's dry on Monday, and not to mention for the eastern mountains as well. Now, your 7-day outlook for the valley, I have bumped those temperatures up a bit, especially by Thursday, Friday. Should be somewhere around 90 to 92 for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And looking at your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, those temperatures also increasing. You'll notice, especially out towards Eureka, Crescent City, you could be talking about temperatures close to, if not right around 70 degrees here. Then for the inland areas, we're back up to the low 90s by Thursday, Friday, mid to upper 80s for Weaverville and Trinity County in general by Wednesday going into this upcoming weekend.